Well, hello, greetings, welcome everybody. This is the BFTAA and More Show with your host, Louis George Walker, and I'm just coming to you live from the KUAW studios located in the fantastic WEB Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in lovely Kansas City, Missouri. So we're so glad that you could join us today and glad to be a part of your day. We've got some things to talk about today, and I'm going to get this started off. Let's see, you got the get us live where you can pick us up. If you want to listen to the KUAW and the BFTAA and More show, we're broadcasting live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and Periscope. So we're getting out to the world on a lot of different video formats. We're also broadcasting our audio only on the TuneIn app and at kuaw.org. So if you'll go to those, you can pick us up there also. And this is a part of Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom Radio, KUAW. Was started by the Black Family Technology Awareness Association in partnership with the WEB Du Bois Learning Center. And that gives us this show that you're looking at right now, and it is BFTAA and More. Looks like I'm a little cloudy on one of my screens, but I guess it's going to be coming around in a minute. That's our Facebook. No, our Twitter. Twitter doesn't seem to be coming in too clear right now. I don't know what's going on with that. Hello, hello. Glad that you're joining us on Twitter and on Facebook or Periscope. I see a Jungle Scout, okay, is on there, but I don't know why come I'm getting this not too smooth a look here. Okay, it says it's broadcasting, but we'll have to go with that. If some of you could check the Twitter and see if we're going out good on it, I would appreciate it. Yes, we've got a lot of good listeners that follow us and that help us out with our broadcast. So come back to Facebook, do Twitter, and let me know if that's coming through okay. I'm going to bring up my Facebook so I can see you guys as you chime in and talk back with me here. As always, you can give us a call at 816-599-6893. That's 816-599-6893. We'll be glad to talk with you and answer any questions. You can also hit us up on Facebook. We'll be monitoring it. I'm keeping my eyes open, trying to make sure we can check it out. So we've got a lot of things going on, and we're getting all of these different buttons pushed and these pop-ups that come up on Twitter. I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you, Messenger and all of those, they just seem to jump up quite a bit. I'm going to have to go through this and see if there's a way I can cut them things out, because when I get ready to go live, then I got to close all of these different little windows that keep popping up on me. That's always a interesting, challenging thing that we have to try and put together here. But we are live. You can also email us if you want to. We're at kuaw985@gmail.com. You can call, as I said, 816-599-6893. Or you can message us on Facebook. We'll be glad to touch base with you there. We'll be looking at it. Let's see. I think this is me here. So we're getting us up here. Yes, there we are. I got BFTAA. I don't have and more in here, so we'll have to edit that just a little bit. Yes, we do this thing on the fly. We're baking a cake, flying the plane, and putting it together all while we're traveling. And it's never a dull moment as we make things happen here. I don't see the name of the show. All right, we may have to go through it without the title being complete. That's okay. We'll make it happen. We'll keep doing what we're doing. All righty. Well, we're just glad that you're here. We do have some things that we want to touch base with you on, and we're glad that you're joining with us. Part of what we want to do is give a tribute. I know everybody has been paying attention to the news the last couple of days, so wanted to give us a short or a little bit of a tribute here to Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Yes, the Black Panther, Also the star of a lot of other movies from 42, the James Brown story. He had a lot of things. He was actually in The Express, which was the Ernie Davis story, and I saw that. That was a good movie also. One of the things that we know is that Chadwick actually had started out in the soaps where he did a episode of Third Watch, but then he started out in on All My Children. So some of you may remember him there that he had a little bit. He had graduated. He got his first television role in 2003 on the Third Watch, and there he is again. And then he moved on to All My Children, and then he moved in 2008 to Los Angeles to start doing some acting there to further his career. Said he played a reoccurring role on the television series Lincoln Heights, and his first feature film was The Express. But he was also on Law and Order, CSI New York, and ER. And while he was, like I said, he had took a role with All My Children, and he was in it, but he had some complaints about some of the racial stereotypes that was done, and according to him, he got fired. And guess who they got to replace him, which would be a further co-star with him, was Michael B. Jordan. So both of them come from doing some work on All My Children, but Michael B. Jordan replaced his character on All My Children after he had made some complaints. So I guess they've probably been trailing each other or close to each other for quite a few years here. But yes, the actor passed away on the 30th. I believe it was the 30th. Let's see what we've got here. I think it was October. No, he died August the 28th. August the 28th is when he passed. And Chadwick was born in 1976, November 29th. He was in, like we say, the Jackie Robinson story, James Brown's Get On Up. He played Thurgood Marshall. His biggest hit was as the Black Panther. He was born and raised in South Carolina. He attended Howard University. His mother worked. Let's see what it says in South Carolina. Yeah, his mother was a nurse. His father was a worker at a textile factory. So he comes from a blue collar family and worked his way up into acting. But as he got into college at Howard University, he was taking acting. He actually had wrote his first screenplay or his first play while he was in high school. So he's had the bug, or he was wanting to be an actor for a long time. He had this first play in high school. I was going to see if I could find the name. I've got an article here. I actually pulled up Wikipedia on him to get a little bit of a head start as I was reading this. But yeah, he had a classmate that was killed. He wrote staged it at school after a classmate was shot and killed. His first play was called Crossroads. He attended college at Howard University, graduating in 2000 with a Bachelor in Fine Arts. One of his teachers, while he was at Howard and University in Washington, D.C., was Felicia Rashad. Yes, you remember her from The Cosby Show. Felicia Rashad was actually one of Chadwick Boseman's teachers, and she helped to raise funds. Their class was so good that she wanted them to go to England to the Oxford Midsummer Program that was put on by the British American Drama Academy. It was in London, so she tapped up friends, including Denzel Washington, that helped make that trip possible for the young people to actually go to England and study. So Felicia Rashad was a mentor of Chadwick, and then Denzel Washington helped finance the trip for not just him, but for his whole class to go to a summer program over in London. That was a great thing. So that's a lot of times we don't see it or you don't know, but the people that are up there, they don't always forget where they come from. A lot of you may know Denzel Washington does a lot of things in the community, does a lot of things to help out, but a lot of times they don't shout it out or they don't go out to get a big name for what they're doing. But Sidney Poitier kind of took Denzel under his wing and some of the other actors, Lawrence Fishburne and them. They're in turn reaching back to people like Chadwick Boseman and other actors to help them out, to help bring them along. So it's not that you get there and you forget. And sometimes people think that, or you don't hear about it, you don't see about it. They're not, running around and say, "Oh, I did all this for this person to help him out, or I helped him, or helped that." No, they're doing it quietly, but they're doing things. So he was a recipient of that, and in turn, Chadwick had been doing a lot of activism and helping out people in not just in Hollywood and in the movies, but in other forms, in the cancer hospitals and all of that. So he was really uh, a good guy in it. Like all of us, he's probably had some faults, and there's somebody saying, well, he wasn't, all of this, that, and the other. But I have to say that from what I've been reading and doing a little research on, that he definitely has been doing some good things. But for a young man that hadn't been in the acting world, just he graduated in 2020, I mean in 2000. So 20 years, and he wasn't acting in that. He did some teaching when he first came out of school. He was a teacher of young people at a institute in New York, where it first went. Let's see, where was that at? But he did some work out at theaters there and helping young people and giving back. So, we want to give our hats out to Chadwick Boseman. A lot of people remember him as T'Challa from Black Panther, but he had a lot of other things. He worked with Spice Lee this year on a movie called The Five Bloods that's been out and shown, and he has one more film that's coming out on Netflix called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So that's to be released, I think, later this year. So that's one more film that is coming out, but he had countless. As I was looking at movies and film roles that he had did in his 17 years or 18 years of actual acting out there, he played in a lot of things. He was in Draft Day. He was in 42, The Express, Marshall, Black Panther. He did Black Panther in four roles. He was in the Captain America Civil War. He was in the Black Panther and then the Avengers Affinity Wars and Endgame. He also was in 21 Bridges. So that Message from a King, The Kill Hole. So that was a lot that he had did in a short period of time. He also had did a lot of episodes on television as he was working his way into stardom. He was in All My Children, as I said, Law and Order, Cold Case, Lincoln Heights, Persons Unknown, The Glades, Castle, Fringe, Detroit 187. So he's been in a lot of different things. He got a lot of awards. He did get an Image Award from the NAACP and a Screen Actors Guild Award, I believe, for Black Panther. So he's done a lot of things. He got an MTV Award as one of the best movie heroes. So we want to give our hats off. He's going to be missed. He has a lot of great work that we'll be able to look at for years and years to come. Doesn't say that he had any children. He had recently married his girlfriend within the last couple of years, but it didn't list any children that he had at this time. But Chadwick Boseman will be missed. He was a good actor. It's just not too much you can say about that other than, we're going to miss him. We do appreciate the body of work that he had put out, and that's really really good to see. So, as we get ready to move away from that, and we'll give a moment of silence for Chadwick. All right. So, yes. But yeah, we want to reach out and always honor our heroes and our sheroes and those that are doing great things out there in the world, not just in movies, but in science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, which we are about. There are a lot of we have a rich history of working in technology, of doing great things, and we want to recognize all that is being done. So we'll be seeing more and more of this and getting more. There was also an article that I saw, which was interesting. It says, and this was in our Black Voices by Victor Omandi. It says U.S. Marshals recover 39 missing children in Georgia. This happened last Thursday, or I think it was last Thursday. It says, together with local authorities, the U.S. Marshal Service rescued 26 children and ensured the safe location of 13 others. That's 39 during a 2-week operation in Georgia. Law enforcement arrested 9 people, most of whom had multiple arrest warrants for charges such as sex trafficking, parental kidnapping, registered sex offender violation, drugs, and weapons possession. They also cleared 26 arrest warrants. The message to missing children and their families is that we will never stop looking for you, the director of the U.S. Marshal Service, Donald Washington, said. Most of the children who were rescued were regarded as some of the most at-risk and challenging recovery cases in the area, based on indications of high risk factors such as victimization of child sex trafficking, child exploitation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, and medical and mental health conditions based on the release. One of the children was allegedly 3 years old. While most of the children had gone missing for weeks, one had been missing for 2 years before they were rescued. The U.S. Marshal Service Missing Child Unit joined hands with the agency's Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, alongside several state and local agencies to carry out the operation. So we're glad. When we track down fugitives, it's a good feeling to know that we're putting the bad guy behind bars. But the sense of accomplishment is nothing compared to finding a missing child, the chief of the Missing Children Unit, Darby Kirby, said. It's hard to put into words what we feel when we rescue a missing child, but I can tell you that this operation has impacted every single one of us out here. We are working to protect them and get them the help that they need, Kirby added. So hats off to the U.S. Marshal Service and all the agencies that work to help find missing, exploited children. It's a big problem in this country. It's a problem throughout the world, but it's something that, we don't want to shove under the rug. And sometimes if it's not your child or you don't see it in your community, you don't think that it's happening. But there are missing children here in Kansas City, in the state of Missouri. There's sex trafficking. There's parental kidnapping. There are a lot of things that go on with our young people, and we're just glad that we have the agencies, U.S. Marshal Service, the people that look for missing kids constantly, that make it a priority, as that's what they're doing and stuff. So we're glad that they do it. We say thank you. It says last year, the Marshal Service helped to recover more than 290 missing children and has contributed to the recovery of a missing child in 75% of the cases. So in most cases, 66% of recovered missing children are found within a week of the United States Marshal Service's help. So that was a word from them. Also, as I said, we just want to tip our hats to them. That's a great thing. It's a lot of work. It goes unheralded at times, but we definitely want to just tip our hats off to them, to the people. Sometimes we think law enforcement or police and all that. Some people think that there's nothing they can do right, but that is as misguided as thinking that all minorities are criminals or to be watched and stuff. So you want to definitely say that we need balance on all sides, One of the things that I also wanted to talk about was voter registration and absentee or mail-in voting. It's something that you need to keep on your mind. The ballots are going to be coming out in September. Mail-in voting in Missouri doesn't start that soon. I believe it's in October, but there are some caveats to mail-in voting in Missouri unless the governor or the state legislature has changed some of that. To do mail-in voting, you have to, well, not only fill out the form, but there's some things I was looking at saying that you'll have to get a notary to sign off on it, or to, as you fill out the form, it has to be notarized. That means somebody with a notary seal that will verify that you are the one that signed it off. And if you just registered this year, if you're doing mail-in voting, you'll actually have to mail in a copy of your ID, of whatever you used when you registered, driver's license, state ID. We're going to go to the Secretary of State's site. We're not going to do that today. I did that a couple weeks ago, but we're going to go back there and want to update everyone on voter registration. For one, you still have time to register to vote in the presidential elections. All Americans should vote. All Missourians should vote. All Kansas City area people should vote. So we want to make sure that you have the information and the tools you need. If you have some questions about voting, email us. We'll send them out, or we'll try to find some answers for you. Or go to your voter election commission that's at the Union Station. For if you're in Kansas City, there's in Independence for Jackson County. Every county, they have a board of election commissioners. So you can contact them, or as I said before, go to the Secretary of State's page, the Missouri or Kansas, wherever you live, Texas, Arizona. I mean, a lot of you are all over the world listening to us. But if you're in the United States, contact your state attorney general or your Secretary of State for your state. And on their website, and they all should have websites by now. I don't think anybody doesn't, but on their website they should have voting information and instructions for you. So definitely take an aggressive stance. Do it yourself. Let's don't wait for somebody else to hold our hand or take us through it. Get out there and start advocating that you want to vote, that you want to find out this information for yourself, and find out what it takes to register and vote. Now, from what I was seeing online in Kansas, it's a little easier to do mail-in voting, but you still have to follow all the rules. So make sure if you live in Kansas that you know what it is that you have to do mail-in voting. As I said, in Missouri, and I don't know if they've changed this or if they're going to change it due to COVID, but most of the reasons for mail-in voting, of the 7 reasons that you mail, they said 5 of them require your registration to be notarized. Just a second, we got to open the door. So since they require to be notarized, you want to get on this quick. So get in contact with someone, find out about it, see what you can do to make sure that you get registered to vote. See if I can go back on my... If I am live here, I think it says I am live. Right there. So yes, we want to make sure that everybody is getting registered to vote, that you are registered to vote, or that you're planning on registering to vote. Yes, we want you to vote. That is a imperative. This, not just this election, really every election. I registered to vote back when the Vietnam War was still going on. Yes, that's right. I'm an old timer. But I've been voting ever since. So I started voting when I first turned 18. See, and that was the first time that they allowed 18-year-olds to vote. Because before then, you had to be 21 to vote. While the war was going on, there were protests and stuff saying that, while we could be drafted and sent to war, we couldn't vote. So we weren't old enough, or weren't being given the responsibility of knowing how to vote, but we could go to war. We could learn how to kill somebody. So during a lot of the protests, they got the voting age lowered to 18. So now at 18 years old, you can still be drafted, although we don't have the draft right now, but you can also vote. So I haven't missed maybe 1 or 2 elections, and those might have been local elections. I voted absentee when my job was sending me out of town. I wasn't going to be in town for that. I voted with the absentee ballots. It's not too hard of a deal to do. So you can get in and do that. It's your right, and more than that, I would say it's your duty to vote. You need to make sure you vote, and you want to try. You want not try. You want to have an informed vote. So you need to do some research. You need to check some people out. You need to, listen to some things, talk to some people, read some information, and find out who you really want to vote for. And that's not just for president. There's a lot more going on than who's going to be president of the United States. Yeah, that's the number one job itself. But believe it or not, you're affected more by what goes on in your city council, what goes on in your state legislature, than what happens in the White House. So a lot of times we go and vote for president, but then we look and they're saying this person's running for state representative or the state senate, and I don't know anything about him. I haven't checked that. I didn't know what to vote on that, so I just didn't vote on that. Well, those are important those are important positions, especially to our everyday life. So we need to check out, find out who your state representative is, who's your state senator in your area. Find out who your city council person is. Those are the people that are really going to affect you immediately. What they do, what they say, what laws they pass will have more of effect on you than what happens up on the federal level. It's a local thing. So you need to find out about your local, and you need to be concerned about local politicians and local politics. A lot of times we let things happen in Jefferson City or in Topeka or at the city halls that are more detrimental to us than things that are happening on a grander scale somewhere. So just want you to be involved, want you to read, want you to get versed on it, and make sure that you're ready to vote. We need to vote, and we need to vote in large numbers. So thank you, and we appreciate that. Also, let me get to you. I see we've got a few people in here. Yes. One of the things that is on there says not voting is like having someone you don't know move in your home, raid your icebox, wash clothes, take a shower, and drive off in your car without permission or a thank you. Yes. So that is it. I mean, you've got to vote. You got to make sure that we go out and vote. So tell a friend. I'm not telling you which way to vote or anything like that, but I'm saying that you should be involved in it. They're talking about expanding the streetcar. We got $50 million from the government, but it's going to cost way more. It's going to cost 3 or 4 times that much to really build a streetcar out to UMKC. And right or wrong, like it or don't like it, you should be involved. You should vote on it. There's going to be some voting that will go for taxes, for setting up districts to expand the streetcar line. So we need to make sure that our opinion is heard. If you don't vote, you don't have no say-so. You say your vote doesn't matter, but you'd be surprised how much it does matter. Sometimes elections are won or lost on a vote. Sometimes on 4 or 5 votes, somebody gets in office. So 4 or 5 people. If all 4 or 5 of you vote, y'all might can swing something. If you vote, if you get your block or your neighborhood to vote, that may be a big help to whoever's running that you're in favor of. So you need to get involved in. Also, you can get involved in helping knock on doors, make phone calls, donate funds to elections. It's not unheard of. People think, well, I'm not donating, getting millions of dollars anyway. Well, no, a lot of times people need that money, especially on local election. A person running for city council, they have to raise money too. The state representative, it may be a person that lives right in your neighborhood. You see that he's running for a state office or she's running for a state office, and you think, oh, well, they're running, I hope they win. Well, it takes money. It takes those $5, $10, $20 if you got it to help buy yard signs, to help get posters up, to help get flyers out, television commercials, all that type of stuff. So we have to not only vote, but you need to support the people that support the policies that you believe in. And if you don't have the cash, then help them out by making phone calls, answering the phone, knocking on doors with them, passing out flyers. There's things that you can do that will help make a difference. So let's don't just be passive about our responsibilities when it comes to politics and elections and stuff. You know, we all want to complain. We always want to say what somebody isn't doing and what they should be doing, and this, that, and the other ain't right. But then, are we putting in any work? You know, are we out there grinding for that politician? So let's make sure that we get involved and that our voices are heard, and that would be a great thing for this country. Because I think if everybody speaks up, then we really know what the country wants to do. If it's just a few people, if it's just the special interest groups, then this country can be swayed that is not really the will of the entire country or the majority of the people. So let's get out there, let's support government in all forms and make it act right. You know, yeah, we may have to protest, we may have to do things, but that's America. That's what we do. So let's make America be America. That's right. Okay, that's my soapbox as it comes to elections and stuff. Also, I've got on here, we're talking with some of my coaches. We have a robotics team, and we do some coding with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. And we're trying to see how we're going to reach out to more parents and young people virtually. I've got a coach that wants to work with kids on doing coding and building a robot, and he wants to work with them online. We don't want to not work with them because of Corona. We've had a team in robotics competition since 2008. We've been building robots. We've been getting young people involved in robotics. We've got some that are in college now. We've got some kids that have worked on our youth technology fair that are out of college now and starting. I mean, I ran into people down at the Maker Fair, which we worked with them when we were doing wiring on the Swope Parkway corridor on 55th Street when we were up there. And a young man came up to me. I didn't really recognize him, and he's married now, starting a family. And I'm thinking, you know, we work with these young people. They grow up, and, you know, they're thankful. So you definitely want to get involved with that. So we're going to put out a letter, but that's to the families that have already registered with us, to send out what would they like to do virtually, and if they would like to be involved in our virtual robotics program that we're going to start. It's going to be starting up right after Labor Day. So if you want to get your child involved in a virtual robotics, virtual coding program, you need to contact us. You can go to our website. It's www.bftaa, that's for the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, .org. So www.bftaa.org. In the center of the page, it says you can register your child for our youth technology program. Click on that. Sign up, put in your name, your child's name, so that we'll have your email. We don't sell this email out to anybody else. It's not part of any company getting things, and you won't get advertisement. But we will contact you about what's going on with our youth programs and what the Black Family Technology Awareness Association is offering this year, this fall, and going into the spring. Hopefully by spring, we'll be back to having the kids doing hands-on robotics. But we would like for you to register your child, and that basically just gets their name on there. If they're 9 years old to 12, we want them to register in our first Lego League, Lego Robotics. If they're 13 to 18, we want them to register in our VEX Robotics program. So go to that site, make sure that you register your child for it, because the robotics program, we're going to be doing some things, and this virtual thing, we've never done it before. But as we say we want to do it, and I've got some young, talented engineers and programmers that are willing to work on this, I think we can make a program that grows, and it may be something that stays with us all the time, so kids don't have to necessarily come on site to learn, that they'll be able to learn from whatever part of the city that they're in. But it's nothing like being on a robotics team and working hands-on, because they're learning more than just coding and robotics. As they're learning the teamwork, they're learning how to cooperate with each other and collaboration. Those are things that you can't learn just individually working on a project at home. But, you know, it's always good when we have the kids face to face. And for them to be around mentors and role models, we've had professional engineers, computer scientists, and we've had regular community people that are involved that have come in to help and to work, and that they give some knowledge to the young people that is priceless and you can't bottle it. For some of our young engineers that are under 30 years old, and working with these young people, I mean, I see the synergies. I just stand back and watch them go. And they're working with the young people, and the young people are seeing somebody that's maybe not too much older than them, and they can learn from them. We have one young man that works with us. He's a computer scientist, and he was telling the kids he was on a robotics team when he was in high school. So he built robots in high school. Now he's working at a major corporation here in town, and he's giving back. So we want you to get involved. If you know somebody with kids, tell them to go to www.bftaa.org and sign up for our technology programs. In the center of the page, it'll have a thing to register your child for a technology program. You click on it, a form will open up, and you can fill out the information. I ran into a lady. We were at a fashion show that one of our hosts was having last Saturday. And I ran into a young lady, and she was there with her son, and she said, "When are y'all gonna start doing something? He's ready to go back." And I was kind of like, I don't know how we're gonna do things and that. But then you start running into parents, and they're telling you that their kids are ready. I had one young man call me and said, "Mr. Walker, when are we gonna start again?" And I said, "Okay, we've got to get something going for these young people. I mean, they want to do it. They're involved in this, and to have young people that are calling or saying that they want to get involved in coding, they want to come back and do robotics. I mean, how can we turn them down? We've got to start something up virtually, however we can get together. So we're going to work with this COVID thing, but we're going to bring some activities that the kids can do, whether you have a computer at home or not. One of our engineers is saying he's got some projects that kids can work on even without computers. But we do want to know, and we're going to be surveying you, and that's what will come out in this letter. We want to know how many people don't have a computer or don't have internet access, so we can start seeing about helping you get that so that your kids can get involved. So if you go to www.bftaa.org and register your child in our technology program, we're going to be sending out a letter, and we'll be sending it out as we get new parents in too. But we want to know if you're equipped, because we've got some people that said they volunteer to come in and build some computers, put some computers together. We get the parts together that we'll get out to the kids. So if you want to get involved or want your child to be involved in the program, whether you got internet at home, whether you got a computer at home or not, we want to work with you. We want to see about getting you hooked up. And I know the school's sending home a lot of Chromebooks and things like that. Hey, maybe you can use that to work on what we're working with. That's cool. But there's a shortage going on. It's going to be a priority to get them. But, hey, if we can get you a desktop, that'll work good at home. You can't carry it around and stuff. It's kind of stationary, but that works. If we can get you a laptop, a Chromebook, whatever we can do to help your young person get involved in this technological world, because that's what the world is becoming, and if you're not involved, you're going to get left behind. So get in touch with us. I'll say that again, www.bftaa.org. Or you can call us here at the station, 816-599-6893. You can leave a message on our phone. We'll get back in touch with you. But we want to get young people involved in this technology. And if you're an adult and you would like to help, if you'd like to volunteer, you want to know what can I do, give us a call, 816-599-6893. We'll be glad to talk with you and see, as they say, we'll get you in where you fit in. So there's always room for somebody that really wants to help. We'll make room for somebody that really wants to help us out. We also are accepting donations. And that's one thing I want to go into now. That we've talked about the BFTAA and the robotics program and all that. Well, KUAW Radio is part of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. It is a 501c3 nonprofit under the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. So it's actually a part of the same organization. And we're doing a fundraiser right now. Online, if you go to our website, right on the front page, we've got a fundraiser going on. and we're offering a smooth jazz pack to anybody that makes a donation. A local, not a local, a national artist, Mr. Carl Rowland, and he's a multi-instrument person, guitarist and keyboardist and stuff. But he has donated a 10-song pack featuring some of his latest songs, some Christmas music, and some songs that he has done before. But he's got a 10-song pack that he is donating to anybody that makes a donation to KUAW Radio. So you can make a donation in any amount, and you'll get this 10-song pack. Now, I have to let you know, though, we were having troubles with the software to get the 10-song pack delivered. We were talking with their back office people today, and me and Ricky Costin, who is Professor Smooth Jazz on the radio, because this is one of the artists that he works with, that had contacted Ricky and said that they wanted to give away some music, help us with the fundraiser. They wanted to partner with us. So we started this up, but we've been having a little bit of technical issues as far as getting the songs downloadable. But I talked with the lady today. They're supposed to call us back as soon as it's available. So don't worry, the songs are there. They're going to be given out. We wanted it to be where you just click on a link and you download them yourself. And that's still our plan A. Plan B will be if we have to do this by hand and he sends them to us and we send them out to you, we're going to get the songs to you. So there's a 10-song music pack that's available to anybody. If you go right now to KUAW.org, and in the upper right-hand corner of our page, or left-hand corner of our page, there's a donate button. You can make a donation there. If you make a donation, you'll get that 10-song pack that's coming from Mr. Carl Rowland. Smooth jazz. Sounds real good. Some of you young people may think, well, that's only so-so, but hey, check it out. Listen to it. You might get exposed to something that you will like. And for those of you that have been into the jazz world, that's one thing that you want to get is a little bit of this smooth jazz. So kind of listen to a couple of his songs, and he's kind of got that George Benson type of sound going on there. Pretty nice. So make a donation, and you get some free music for it. That's a partnership that we have between KUAW Radio and Carl Rowland. So I want you to remember that. And I talked with his people today. They were real nice. They were real wanting to work with us to make sure we get the kinks out of how to get this music to you. So we're working on that right now, but we owe you the music. If you made a donation, we're going to see if I have to hound them every day. We're going to make sure that you get the music. But I want you to look at the fundraiser that we have. It's on our front page. Matter of fact, it's the heading page. The picture that comes up at the beginning talks about the fundraiser, and we're going to be putting out an event thing this week to kick it off. Not to kick it off, but to keep it going. This is in our second week. We're going to go all the way until the end of Labor Day week. So after Labor Day weekend, we'll go to that Saturday, and that's going to be the end. I believe that's September the 12th. So we started August the 23rd. We're really needing some donations. We're falling behind. We haven't had a lot of donations. So I want you to tell your friends, if you're a believer, if you're a listener, if you like KUAW Radio, go to our website, make a donation. Go to Facebook, make a donation. Yes, the music will be great, but we just want you to make a donation to KUAW Radio. And you can also say what show you really like on KUAW, so we can tell them that, hey, this person really likes you, and they made a donation and stuff. So our show hosts will be glad to hear that, the appreciation. So don't forget us, $5, $10, $100, $1,000. KUAW can use it. We want to do some upgrades. We want to rearrange this studio and re-equip it. So if you can help us with that, we also have to keep the bills paid and the lights on. So we would appreciate anything that you can do to help KUAW Radio. Well, we covered a lot of things in and out. I think I was all over the place, kind of scattershot today, but that's okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed listening to us. And I hope you stay around, because B. Michael Long is coming up next with Shifting Paradigms. So at 6 o'clock, it's going to be Shifting Paradigms right here at KUAW Radio. Continue to listen. Continue to be a part. We love you. We'll be back next Monday, 5 o'clock, for the BFTAA and more show. Thank you and good night.